What's going on, everybody? It's your boy JT Knows Things, and we are back in the Crypto Den. Today, we're actually going to switch gears a little bit and go to the crypto classroom. All right, at my partner's place, Steve Wolterman. We are meeting every week and filming a podcast. So we're going to publish the audio version on every platform: Spotify, Apple Podcasts, you name it. Crypto Classroom will be there. Your boy will be explaining in long form all the fundamentals that have made me successful in the space and teaching my partner Steve along the way as to what the hell is crypto and what are we doing with it. This is the episode. I just wanted to pop right in and introduce it. It's very exciting. I hope you learn something valuable. At the bare minimum, you become a better investor today than you were yesterday. Thank you so much for your love and support, tuning in, watching this, listening to it. Whatever you do with it, may it bring you a different level of sophistication. Peace and love, guys. Until next time.
Hi, welcome to Crypto Classroom. We're your co-hosts. I'm Steve Wolterman. This is Jake Tolis. Sometimes we'll call him JT. Together, we are part of a company, Bleeding Edge Capital. And Bleeding Edge Capital is a GP and a crypto hedge fund. About a year ago, I met JT. My background, I have a small law firm. I'm an attorney, practicing mostly business, tax, and real estate, but I met JT, became fascinated with crypto, convinced him to put together a fund, and we've done such, and on our way now. With regard to that fund, I'm responsible for legal and operations, but JT is the head of all strategy, makes all the investment decisions, and this podcast is not about the fund, but is rather educational. And I know a lot of people that I talk to, I feel like are me, who want exposure to crypto, want to learn about it, but where do you start if you don't have the software expertise background or a technical background? So over the last year, just everything I've learned from JT, we're going to try to recreate some of these podcasts and be able to ask questions and have him educate us. I think a lot of people, as I said, like me, will find a lot of value in this.
Hey guys, before we get into the episode, I want to remind you that we are a discretionarily long fund. That means the time frames, the time horizons that could be referenced in this episode, the shortest period would be 3 months, and at most we're talking about 5 years here. So when you hear about a new development or trying to understand the fundamentals we discuss in these episodes, just relax and have the perspective that this will not play out for an extended period of time, and you have time to do something about the information you learned here today. And speaking of that information, some awesome disclosures. We are not financial advisors. Nothing in this episode or any other episode you may hear from Bleeding Edge Capital could be construed as financial advice, life advice, or any other form of advice. We are simply here for educational purposes. All right, everyone, welcome back to another episode of Crypto Classroom. We have an exciting guest for you guys. She is the Chief Communications Officer of a Web3 startup in the SoFi space, or social finance space, and her name is Viktoria Miracle. She's here to explain to us what this company she leads is all about. So Viktoria, welcome. I'd like to tell the audience about yourself and how you found crypto would be a good place to start.
Yes, absolutely. Hi, Steve and JT. It's a good. Thanks everybody for listening and tuning in. I know we all have a busy lives, but I've been in the entrepreneur space since I was 18, and it's been over 13 years of experience. I've founded many Web2 companies, like very brick and mortar businesses like restaurants, flower shop, the one I have before. Very interesting adventures there. And then on 7 years ago, I moved into online space, and I owned before my own marketing agency. And once I closed that, I actually moved into crypto professionally. But I found crypto a long time ago in 2016 personally, And I've been fascinated by the technology that blockchain is carrying over, the transparency, the speed, the trust with it. And I've invested in like 16, back then. But professionally, I came into the space like about 3 years ago.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. What was your
It's
first
like in
real?
2016, what I remembered, and I think many will, relate, once you've probably heard about it very earlier than right now, but it's been when I was starting learning more about industry, I only felt like, oh my God, I'm not an engineer. I don't know what to do. I don't even understand what blockchain is in 2016. And no YouTube videos or anything, articles was really comprehensively covering and explaining to me. So that's why I was just only observer, because I was like, either I can be investor or engineer in building the blockchain itself, which I was not planning to do. And that's why, it kind of like scared me out a little bit in 16. So I stepped back for like 5 years and just been like a long holder before I actually felt I can contribute to this industry with my expertise as marketing, communications, and sales. Yeah.
Yeah. No, that makes perfect sense. 2016 is a great time to get into it too.
Sure.
Yeah. Like we preach on the channel, the longer you're in it, the longer time horizons you have, the calmer you'll be and the more successful you'll be. So that's great. What was your very first project in crypto? You said it was about 3 years ago. Is it been Chi always, or was it another project?
Other projects, yes, for sure. I worked for about 2 years as marketing advisor, like a fundraiser, but not really fundraising. More of like an advisor on the pitching, on how to structure the presentation about the company to investors. And as marketing really helps in this, it's all building relationships with people and explaining in a way that it's for everybody is easy to understand, not just like the crazy idea of founders. And my first project, it's naturally went into this way. Somebody offered me to start a GameFi company 2.5 like years ago, almost 3. And I've done my research because I was so scared of the space. I started doing my research and I wrote a white paper on gamified metaverse, like educational gamified metaverse. And I said, okay, then I can step in and help building this, because for me, like gaming was something that people just play games online, and it's not something I was doing it. Maybe like Lara Croft in GTA when I was young and PlayStation, but that was all my experience. So I said, hey, let me do research, and I dived deeper. And after this white paper was born. But when I came to Dubai, actually, my investor and the co-founder was in Dubai. I decided not to proceed with the investments in a deal with particularly these people. So I started just going to conferences, and then how naturally these people just started asking me, connecting them to the other people in the space, doing a lot of business development and marketing advice. And my first project was Unilayer. Unilayer, it's an interoperability blockchain. So it's a company that does connect all different blockchains, like layer ones, like Ethereum, Bitcoin, let's say Flow, and others between each other, so they can communicate easily. And I thought that was really good. We do need this in the space. So I always see blockchain like still kind of on a way where internet in 90s, right? It was in Los Angeles, it was one internet. In Japan, it was another set of internet. So they weren't talking to each other. So, and now, right, in 2020s, 10s, internet is just one. So what happened is just that started to be interoperable, and it just became one. So that's what is still going on with the blockchain. They still kind of separate. They starting talking kind of to each other and being able to communicate, but we still don't have this comprehensive ecosystem that it will be just so seamlessly for a user to do anything on the blockchain without understanding that we're Googling in LA, or we have to move to Moscow to Google something in Moscow, so we can just shift the region. So that's why for me, interoperability, when I started learning and going to conferences, I was like, okay, I don't think this space is going to survive if that's not going to happen in the near future, something that we really need. So when they offered me supporting them, I was like, yes, so that's how I started diving in deeper, like technically, because to sell something to present to investors, to present to business development, you have to be able to explain things very easily. So I started really diving into the technical part of a blockchain then. And since then, it was many companies like a DeFi protocol. It was a gaming companies as well. Marketplace for local businesses. I had a local business before. I had so much passion about it. We do need simplification in local businesses, and connecting with like a loyalty rewards for customers. So that was another company that I actually co-founded, but we decided not to proceed with our team. And Chile came into my radar. Somebody brought it up to me and want me to join the team to support them in connecting with the American funds, because they're mostly European based. And somebody said, hey, can you please work with us? That was this year in May, April, May, somewhere around that. And honestly, I want to leave crypto. The whole after the SBF fall, we all hearing now what's going on. The other, also the guy, Korean guy, the Luna scam that happened. I was like, I don't know. I'm tired of just being in this negative environment, and I was almost to leave blockchain, and then Chile found me. And then I worked with them for a few months as a contractor and supported, as I always do, on a contract basis. And then I decided to join it full time.
That's awesome. Yeah. So for the audience, can you explain what GameFi is? That might be something that she and I brushed over.
Yeah, GameFi, it's like our company, it's SocialFi, right? But the GameFi, it's kind of the same when you're adding the component of Fi there, which is finance. So means that inside you can transact easily between users, and blockchain is the perfect tool to do that in decentralized or centralized manner. It doesn't matter. It allows you to transfer assets, to transfer your token. Sometimes it's a game token, right? It's not a blockchain even token, but it allows you to just help you to move finance inside of the company, of the entity, right? In the game, when it's a game, it's inside of the games. Yeah.
So do you have to be gaming to be able to communicate and transfer things?
Right now in the gaming, you buy, let's say, let's say Call of Duty, right? I don't know if it still exists. I played when I was 13. There is you can buy a gun, right?
Okay.
AK-47, let's say. You're buying a gun, so you're owning it inside of the game. But if you can sell it, and like you said, you don't want it anymore, but you can sell it. There is no marketplace to people to sell it to. So when it's tokenized, there's a proof of that when you bought it, what you did with it, how long maybe you used it. Forgive me, I'm not a super gamer, but I will just make up some things that possibly I can imagine. And then you can actually sell it to the other user if you have a tokenized, right, the blockchain technology, so that other user, you can have your money back, and the other user can use that gun as well in the game. So the interoperability thing that we talked about it is that you will be able to send the same gun to the other game. So that will be the interoperability. When they're interoperable, you can transfer all of the assets you bought, clothes, guns, cars, in the games to each other. So in the finance
from game to game?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's already becoming possible soon.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah. So SocialFi, our company.
It's own little blockchain kind of closed off per the game, and we're talking about, expanding that from game to game. Yeah. And then you buy, my kids do Roblox, and I spend a lot of money buying them Robux or whatever you call it, and they buy avatars and clothes or whatever they're buying, and so they could sell that back, and I could get my money back.
Right. That's because of a blockchain, and that's the piece of the tokenization that everybody's raving about it.
Cool.
Okay, so why don't you take us into Chile and SoFi or SoFi, all the stuff that you kind of brushed over there as well. I'm sure they'd love to learn more about how blockchain is changing our experience with social media.
Yeah. So we are a short video content platform. So if you imagine TikTok in in user experience, but we are rewarding people for the time that they spend on the app. And I will dive deeper. So the problem that we found on the market is that 60% of the people around the world on average spend like 2.5 hours a day on social media, Gen Z 5 hours a daily, and get nothing for it, but the feeling of wasted time. And our solution and the mission is to provide everybody opportunity to monetize their attention, the time that they spend on social media, and improving the quality of attention, and despite the numbers of subscribers. So if you imagine, right, on the social media, they've been accumulating huge amounts of money, the corporations, and maybe a little bit of content creators as well, but the user get nothing for it. But if you think about it, where is the money coming from in Instagram? It's advertisers. Why advertisers gives money to social media companies? Because they want attention on their ads of people. So that means the product, it's people, it's really not content creators, but nobody's rewarding people. So we do. That's what Chili do. We're building something like user experience of TikTok. It's a short video content platform, like also a payment structure, like if you imagine Venmo, that you can transact between each other. And also like live commerce, features of you can be able to sell things online, as well as monetize your content, or if you are a content creator as well. So we're rewarding both and content creators and people.
Got it. Okay.
So like an Instagram will take some of their advertising budget, and they would hire you guys and you facilitate getting some of the money back to the end users of Instagram, and
So we actually have our own platform. We are a standalone social media. We don't do this to any other social media. We don't provide this as a service. We are app itself. And we've been live since we launched in February. Like we launched softly in February, but we only connected all the rewards in April. So since April, we, as of right now, I believe we already have over 1 million this week of users.
Wow, yeah, that's incredible growth. What blockchain have you built it on?
On Binance, BNB chain.
BNB chain, the smart chain using Cosmos.
BNB smart chain. So 2 years ago, when they started building the tech of it, it was so much noise in the space, like a lot of layer 2s, layer 1s, all the blockchains was like giving money away, build on us, no, let's build on us, we're the best. But what we've been afraid of, that lots of those blockchains going to disappear. One, because there's not enough developers to build on them. So we chose that one that has been long enough on the market, that has fast transactions and also adaptable for micro payments, because we will sell like $10 NFT, which is very little payment. We can't pay a lot for the fee on the blockchain because we have a lot of micro payments. So BNB was one suitable, and it's been long enough. We know it's not going to disappear. CZ is not going anywhere. So we chose BNB as a blockchain.
No, that's interesting. So, and it's okay if you don't know the answer, but do you know what underlying protocol you're using for your smart contract execution? Is that the Cosmos SDK on Binance Smart Chain, I'm assuming?
I don't know that answer. Not that deep, technically deep in it.
Yeah. No, you're cool. I was just curious. So how exactly do the tokens work then? So you make an account on Chili. Walk us through that, right? Like,
yes.
how much money you have to put in to get how much tokens, or kind of just walk the audience through what their experience would be logged on.
Yeah. So when you sign into a platform, you sign in with your email, and you start watching videos. You're creating, your profile. You can start earning some starting rewards. So you will get automatically assigned free NFT, which will track, your time that you spend on the app. so that you will start earning starting rewards. The next phase is you can upgrade your account. You can upgrade your account with buying another NFT, which we call digital glasses. So it's all in like with the pictures of glasses on it, so that you kind of like watching with the glasses, right? So do you get rewarded? And then you can earn more money. And that is depends on the price of the NFT. That will determine how much you can make, because NFT will die after you used up all the attention that you spend. So there's a limited attention on each NFT, and you can buy one, let's say for $50. You will watch content every day for 10 minutes. Your NFT will die about a month if you watch content like 10 minutes every day. So then you will get about, I don't know, $30, $50, $60, $70. It depends on the game, because we gamify it. It depends on which other glasses you have. So if you have more glasses, it will accumulate more attention for you. So then you can earn more money, or the type of glasses, is the combinations of them. We've typed in deeper on it on our website, and we always instruct people on what's best, to do in the practices to earn more. So later on, right, for the token cycle, you can earn money, and us right now, you earn money as a user. Later on, we're turning on also earnings for content creators. So if you guys, your daughter, your nieces, spending a lot of time or want to be content creators, but it's really hard for them to become famous on Instagram or TikTok, which is probably impossible. It's really hard right now. It takes a lot of investment and money and time. They can totally, get on Chile, start creating content, acquiring, audience easier because it's not so saturated. And later on, they will be able to earn as well as a content creators. So it's a good time to get on, to bring on the kids at this time. And later on, you will be able to send that money to each other, as well as, transfer between. You can spend for advertisement for your profile. You can boost your content. You can buy advertisement, right, or boost your content, and donate to your content creators on a live streams. If they will, that will kind of, in a couple of years, I'm already going, when they are selling something from e-commerce, from the live streams, you will be able to just spend that money there as well. So the token cycle inside, there's a lot of utility for it. And and then you can always cash them out back to your card. In some countries, we're connecting a lot of payments, getaways, on-ramp and off-ramp for each country, the locally. So in some countries, you are already able to just convert your tokens back to just a card, which is very simple and easy. Like for the purchases on iPhone, it just started working last week. You can just buy within Apple Pay, which is so simple and easy again, right? So we're working on that. It's very easy to use for all Web2 or Web3 users. And then you won't even notice that, there's an underlying technology. There's like 10 connections going on in between.
That's cool. So basically, you can browse for free, and then when you decide you want to start playing the game, you can buy an NFT. That's where you have the opportunity to increase the amount of I didn't get the name of your token, but Lee token or Lee token.
You will get Lee token. Yeah.
Yep. So they can get an NFT. It'll boost their Lee rewards, and then whenever they want to use their Lee, they can either using Pancake Swap. I believe that's the major exchange on Binance Smart Chain. They can swap Lee for BSC or BUSD, put it into their exchange.
What are those?
Those are, BUSD is a stable coin. So let's say you're browsing, Chile, and you get, I don't know what a reasonable amount is, but let's say it's 100 Lee.
Yeah.
You could go to Pancake Swap and just exchange your Lee for BUSD.
Yeah, which will be equivalent about $260, 100 Lee tokens. So we keep it stable. So our token, it's not stable token, the internal Lee token, but it is very stable. We don't give it the, I forgot the name in English, volatility. We don't leave the option for volatility, because then, you don't know how much you earn. So we keep it stable, but it's not stable coin. And then you change it to BUSD or USDT. And USDT, it's a BUSD all the stable coins, it's equivalent $1 to one stable coin. Yeah, like PayPal just launched their PayPal U stable coin, so it's $1 to one coin.
And then if you didn't want to go through that step, you're saying that Lee is compatible with Apple Pay through their off-ramp protocol they have.
Not off-ramp. On-ramp, yes, but not the off-ramp. Off-ramp will be still through decentralized exchange like PancakeSwap. We also listed on other exchanges, not only decentralized, for the other token as well. But for now, the off-ramp, it's still going on in most countries through exchanges. But in couple countries, we did connect it, yes. That is just going back to your card.
Got it. Yeah. Okay. That's very cool. Like, this is definitely something that I talk about fundamentally, how we can use blockchain and how it really can touch any industry. Yeah. Right? It's just a more efficient way of building networks. It doesn't matter what kind of network it is, a social network, a gaming network, any network is going to be more efficient as a market using blockchain. So, I mean, that's very cool.
And why I also want to add, so then, people ask, like, why are you on a blockchain? Like, do you have to have a blockchain to function? And we do, because if we are going to get compliant with all fiat money in each country with with all regulations, it's going to take us forever to be able to do those payouts in the fiat money. So that's why there is the extra step of converting tokens back to your local currency, because we can't physically establish the presence in each country really fast, so then everybody that's using it can get a cash for it instead of just having tokens, right? So then that's why we are on a blockchain.
Yeah, right. Certainly. Before we close it out here, I'd love to hear your vision for, let's say, 10 years from now as to how blockchain will be used in Web3, specifically in your industry, like 10 years out in decentralized social networks. What do you think the reality will be?
Oh my God, that's such a cool question. I never thought about it in 10 years. Still trying to figure out what's next year is going to happen. 10 years now, I mean, I believe that we will, we will have the interoperability, and I will be able to send any things that I've created online. I will have ownership, and I will be able to send it, sell it, donate it, or inherit it to the next generation. And I think that's what the beauty is to really having the ownership and also putting price on it yourself. And then, either license it, or if you're a musician, you created a song, you don't want to sell it, but you want to license it maybe to movies, it's easier to do it with this technology. And I believe we will be there in 10 years, 100%.
And would that just be creating content and passing it along or transferring it within? Is it the Binance, platform or is there come a point where, we'll be able to go blockchain to blockchain?
I think in 10 years, that won't even be a decision you need to make.
Yeah. So anything you create, any digital thing you create, I mean, and will you be able to utilize that from one social media platform to another?
I think the way it's going to work, the way she's describing is, you're going to hear of an app.
Yeah.
Kind of like Temu for, that's kind of going viral right now for online shopping. It's just called Temu.
What is
Temu, Temu, Temu.
I'm going to check it out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's a very popular online shopping app, but you're just going to hear of an app 10 years from now that's really popular, that maybe your neighbors made a lot of money off of from making beats and selling them, or you're just going to hear about it, kind of like SoundCloud, or it's just going to be an app.
Yeah.
And you won't distinguish if it's blockchain, Web3, it won't be a discussion. It's just going to be a thing that you'll make stuff in, and all the underlying infrastructure, it could be Binance, it could be Cardano, it could be Ethereum. It doesn't matter. You won't know. It won't matter, And then they're going to have a little thing, you're going to get this token. It'll go to it might not even be a wallet. It all can just be in the app. In the future, all these technologies are not going to be modularized. They're not going to be individual.
Yeah.
It's going to be one experience. It's all going to be packaged together. So just an app will facilitate what she's describing, and you won't understand anything that's going on. Just like today, if I were to ask anyone, how does Twitter work? Like, how does it work? They wouldn't be able to answer it. They don't need to know.
Right.
They don't need to know all the APIs they're using, all the different vendors, where their servers are. They don't need to know any of that. Right.
Right.
Yeah, it's
So,
like before, I love that vision, of yours. It's like before you will have to understand what's the data centers, what's the servers, what's the, I don't know, the speed, the things. Now it's just so automated that we're using internet. We don't have to know, we don't have to think about it. And the same will be with the blockchain. It's just going to be one seamless experience. And on the back end, it'll be many entities, profiting off of different transactions. Us right now, we're paying, I don't know, electricity. We don't know who we're paying to, but I'm sure there's a bunch of different entities we do. And then they're figuring out themselves based on the locations, based on the continents, on the countries. For us, it's just we paying the bill. And I love that vision of yours.
yeah.
Pretty wild.
Yeah.
Sounds good. And I want to add, the last thing is, if we're wrapping up here, I always love to give this example. It's like before, when I assume everybody knows what's Airbnb, right? And I assume everybody knows, on the listeners, that what Airbnb is. Before, when we had an apartment and we will go to vacation, have you thought about, why my apartment is empty? We never thought about it. Oh, we need to monetize the 2 weeks of apartment. But you live in New York, it's so expensive in Manhattan. You're like, damn, I need to sublet it on Airbnb for a couple of weeks. Meanwhile, I'm on a vacation. So Airbnb highlighted that opportunity for all of us. And with Chile, what we do is we're highlighting that opportunity for you to start monetizing and be more aware of the time that you spend and be spending your time wisely. If you're spending on the social networks, you have to get rewarded for it. Otherwise, it's not one entity that has to get rewarded for it. It's everybody that's building and participating can have a reward, and profit from it. And that's what we're doing in Chile. And
So what's the difference?
in a differential way.
Yeah. So like when you say, like, if you're going to use your time on social media wisely and earn money, because that makes sense, what you're talking about, you leave your apartment, it's empty. We never thought about it, but now you can monetize that. What does that mean to use your time wisely on social media versus, it sounds like there's things you can do on social media through Chile that you'd be compensated for and things you wouldn't be compensated for, right?
Yeah, just for watching feed, right? Or even spending time on social media. Like, I don't spend time on TikTok or Instagram. I only watch content on Chile because at least I get rewarded for my time back.
So
Will
the
I do
wisely
it for
part is
free?
using Chile because you're going to earn for your time. Okay.
Exactly,
Yeah.
because I'm an entrepreneur. I don't want to waste my time, but at least I do sometimes. I want to have, waste my time of 10 minutes, but at least I can have some rewards back. Why not to have that, right? And then the more we highlight that, and that's what the Web3 kind of incentive and the values is, that everybody gonna be like rewarded for the contribution. Because as a company, we're gonna profit, right? We're not profitably, we're a startup still, but we will profiting later on. And it's like we're profiting because of the people on the platform and the people creating content and watching content as well. So then why that's only the company that's keeping all the money? So that's where all the Web3 kind of values come in, the democratizing the financial ladder.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Good chatting, guys.
Yeah. It was great. I'm sure the audience learned a lot, and Chile sounds very exciting. I'm very interested in what you guys have going on. I'll certainly be watching your work. So
You got to download our app.
yes, that as well. I do make a lot of content, so it'd be interesting. I'll
Start
get
putting it
my
on there.
yeah. I post 30 times a week. JT knows things, so
Wow.
yeah,
Oh my
we'll
gosh.
we'll take a look and add it to our social media outlets. I mean, we're pretty much everywhere. Rumble, even these episodes are on Rumble and everywhere else. We post everywhere. So
That sounds good.
yeah, we'll definitely check it out. We appreciate you coming on.
Yeah,
Thank
and
you
you
so
can
much.
find us on, at chile.io. It's CHEELEE.io. So it's double E before L and after L. And yeah, you can find me, through the website or on Twitter, everywhere. Just DM me. If you have any questions, suggestions, if you want to participate and join team, we're always looking for talents. We're growing. So yeah, please don't hesitate to text me directly.
Awesome, and I'll make sure that is in our episode show notes, so everyone can just click right there. And we'll get your handle in as well in those show notes. So
Awesome. Sounds good. Thank you.
cool.
Thank you for having me. And thank you everybody for listening or watching whenever you're doing with this interview.
Thank you.
Until next time. It's your boy JT Knows Things, and I'm back to give you those sexy disclaimers. Everything in this cast cannot be interpreted as financial advice, legal advice, accounting advice, and pretty much any other advice that you may or may not be gleaning from the episode. We are simply documenting all of our research for an educational purpose only. We thank you so much for tuning in and your support. And until next time, see ya.